What monsters are most infamously unbalanced for their stated combat rating? Banshee, DC 13 con save or straight to 0 HP. Do not roll damage, do not collect $200. Anyone can roll badly, and a Banshee can end a whole party at any level on a bad night. Oh, by the way, it's CR4, so. Quicklings can be absolute terrors at combat rating 1. They only have 10 HP, but all attacks have disadvantage against them unless their speed is reduced, and they have evasion. They make 3 attacks with a +8 to hit, dealing an average of 24 damage if all 3 hit. Since they have +6 dex, they are going to be better at initiative than almost any PC they fight. If you're a mean DM and don't keep track of their daggers, they can hit and run to a ridiculous degree without ever entering the PC's reach. Now, if you've got a nice damaging spell that goes off any save except dex, all you need is to have them in range. But still, it's an absolute nightmare for some low-level parties. Oh, forgot to mention, by the way, the emotional damage associated with getting prison shanked to death by a 1-foot-tall Count Olaf. Oh, or like Pilaf from Dragon Ball. One I haven't seen yet. Metallic Peacekeepers. You know how Hypnotic Pattern is horrible to use against players? Metallic Peacekeepers have an even worse version. Calming Mist. Recharge 5 to 6. The Peacekeeper releases a calming gas in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on itself. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 14 Charisma saving throw, or become charmed by the Peacekeeper for 1 minute. While charmed in this way, the creature is incapacitated and has the speed of 0. No repeat save, no freeing them as an action. They are incapacitated for the next minute. Combat rating 4, by the way. That's a lot of these so far. Shadows. The second you get more than one around. 2 lucky shadows or 3 moderately unlucky ones can end even a high-level wizard if they get the jump on them. They skip your level scaling HP and go straight to reducing your often static and low strength. It's brutal. I'd go with, face spiders, since our party had a rough time with 2 of them at lower levels, and they almost wiped us. Being able to phase as a bonus action makes it easy for them to get out of harm's way. While the DC save on their poisonous bite is low, it still deals 4d8 damage, or half with a save, on top of 1d10 plus 2 piercing, and that can really mess up a player character at lower levels. Thugs. They only have a combat rating of half. So you'd think they'd be pretty weak. But they're surprisingly tough with 32 HP, and while 11 AC isn't exactly hard to hit, they also have pack tactics and multi-attack. At low levels, they're actually really dangerous against a typical party. With just a minimal amount of teamwork, i.e. 2 thugs attacking the same target, they could easily drop many level 1 to 2 PCs short of a raging barbarian. Additionally, they're just regular humanoid enemies. If you ever need to spice up your mooks, you can easily make them a specific race, like half-orcs, to make them tougher and hit harder, or make them dwarves to increase their HP. And of course, you can upgrade their gear. Give them better armor, chainmail and a shield, better weapons, war picks, and their threat level goes up. The fact they're so meaty makes them at least a nuisance even at higher levels. Sure, a level 5 PC could easily do 32 damage in 1 turn, but I doubt most can do 32 damage in 1 attack, barring something like a Great Weapon Master Paladin hitting with a smite. And once again, at CR half, thugs are mooks, so chances are you're fighting more than one. I once had a party of 4 level 4s nearly get TPK'd by 4 zombies. There was no radiant damage on the party's side, and the only crit was on a full health zombie, leaving it with 2 HP. After that, it was just great zombie rolls on con saves and terrible damage rolls from the party, until the last party member standing crit the final zombie right after rolling a nat 20 on a death save to come back. It was epic, but it was just supposed to be a throwaway fight at the opening of a tomb. It's more of a monster combo, but Rime of the Frost Maiden has one with a sea hag plus wisps. The hag can instantly drop targets to 0, and the wisps can instantly kill 0 HP targets. So, the major categories are things with insta-drop to 0 effects, like Banshee or Bodak. Ability score drain that kills you at 0, like a Shadow or Intellect Devourer. Things that are just numerically way stronger than everything else of their CR, like Quicklings, Skulks, and giant poisonous snakes. This seems to happen more at low CRs than high ones. The only thing I can think of for Mummy Lords is that they're supposed to be casting Animate Dead constantly and running around with a platoon of skeletons or zombies. I know a lot of the young and adult dragons were under CR'd as well. I'm going back in time here. But in 2nd edition, I wanted to make an insect garden with giant insects. I used fire beetles. No fire attacks, only worth 35 XP each, no big deal. But they had an AC of 2, which was the equivalent of plate mail and a shield, if I remember right. They just refused to be hit. It was terrible. Both times I've used a CR5 Star Spawn Mangler. This puppy killed a level 5 PC at full health on their first turn. If they ambush the PCs, which they are designed to, they get to make 6 attacks with advantage for 1d8 plus 2, d6 plus 4. And before they were reprinted in Monsters of the Multiverse, those attacks had to be against the same target. Meaning, if a PC dropped, they still had to use the rest of their attacks on them, chalking up 2 death save fails per hit. It's not as big a deal because level 5 is when Revivify becomes an option, but it still strikes me as way more offensive power for its level than anything else I've run. The Archer. Oh yeah, that's right. The normal Archer stat block is insane at CR3. We've got crazy AC, HP, and DPR. Add to that, they are a ranged option that can hit you from 150 to 600 feet away. I had a party almost fully wiped by a gang of these guys. They used up all their resources for the day just to take them down. This was a medium-rated encounter, by the way. Intellect Devourers are the most famous one. Hopefully, in the updated monster manual, they'll actually give their intelligence drain a time limit, because as it stands, they can permanently wipe out your higher brain functions in a couple of rounds. Poisonous Snake. They are combat rating 1/8 and can kill almost any PC at level 1. Each one has a +5 to hit, which is incredibly high, and deals 2d4 or half on a save plus 1 damage, so an average of 5 to 6 damage. Being that they are CR 1/8 means you'd have 8 of them against a level 1 team of 4. No team can tank 40 damage on the first round without at least 2 of them going down. And even if you take down 4 in the first turn, you still have 4 more to deal with and at least 20 more damage coming. Yeah, they are way too much. Codal. Only CR4, and they're immune to non-magical physical damage as well as psychic damage. They've got great saves, a great AC with shield on top of it, a bite attack that can cause unconsciousness, albeit with only a DC 13 con save, and shape changing that allows them to turn into any beast or humanoid of their CR or lower, which includes some pretty dangerous forms, such as elephants and stegosauruses, which come to mind. The good news is that codals aren't usually the sort of monster you fight at low levels. They're lawful good, and their innate spellcasting lends itself more to healing and protecting than to combat. They're more likely to appear as a summon or NPC. But an evil Tier 1 party that tries to plunder or defile a temple could get a very rude awakening from one of these feathered serpents. People have mentioned the usual ones when asked this question, intangible creatures at low CR. So I'll throw in a more unique one. The Orcs from the 3.5 Monster Manual. Oh no, these things have a falchion that deals 2d4+4 damage and crits on an 18. That means they have a 10% chance of taking down any character in your party in a single swing. And the best part, they are combat rated 1/2, which means at level 1, you are fighting 2 of these things at least. They're not as bad as shadows, but Willow Wisps are much tougher than you'd expect for CR2. Their HP is a little low at 22, of course, but you can effectively look at it as double, since they're resistant or immune to almost every damage type that's common at low levels. They've got 19 AC and +9 on dex saves, so landing attacks or cantrips is rough, even if they're not staying out of reach with their fly speed. The only saving grace is that they're not very impressive offensively, but with their durability and at-will invisibility, they can easily become a long-running annoyance. Now this is one I never see anyone talk about. The Dolphin Delighter, CR3. Just a funny pink dolphin. That is, of course, until it blinds you and teleports you underwater, with no saving throws for either effect. The Dolphin Delighter has 2 funny abilities that make fighting one an absolute nightmare. First, they get 2 slam attacks, and if either hits, you are blinded for a minute. There is no save, you're just blind. Second, the dolphin can teleport itself and another creature 30 feet as a bonus action. Oh, and by the way, you don't need to be a willing creature. Just have the dolphin jump out of the water, like a dolphin, slam into someone on impact, and then teleport the now blind adventurer underwater. The character has no idea where the monster is, where they are, probably can't hear what their allies are saying, and they can't breathe. They're a goner, and their party is freaking out. My party has been wary of any body of water for more than 2 years now. Night Hag. It's a CR5, but the DM and I have made it into my character's arc villain. She can change shape into any female humanoid, enter the ethereal plane at will so long as she has her heartstone, and while there, she can kill you via nightmares. When she does, she takes your soul. Night Hags are terrifyingly overpowered in the hands of a competent DM. No one ever thinks about the gas spore. CR 1/2. Touch attack, DC 10 con save, or become infected. That's not too bad, right? It's just DC 10, right? It also has 1 HP, and the AC of 5, so what's the problem? Death Burst. Death Burst is the problem! 20-foot radius on a large creature. Con save DC 15 or become infected, the same infection as the touch attack. Now, what does this infection do, you ask? Well, first off, it's a disease, not a poison, so it's less common to get advantage on, although immunity to being poisoned also makes you immune to this. And secondly, the initial save is all you get. But the actual effect is the real kicker. In 1d12 plus con score hours, you die. At the halfway mark, you become poisoned. Now sure, that's a minimum of 9 hours, but if you don't have a way to cure disease prepared, you have to immediately leave and take a long rest. And if you don't have access to cure disease effects at all, you're deceased. All for failing a DC 15 con save. CR 1/2, people. So low, but so deadly. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and if you want to keep the toilet paper on our rolls, you'd be doing a huge benefit to us and favor if you would join our membership program. We love you all, so we're going to be giving you early access to videos if you do so. And, of course, some outtakes too, maybe more, we'll see. But you don't have to. We would just like it if you did. We love you all. Please be safe, happy, and healthy. See you next time. Bye for now.